Hello, and thank you, and welcome to the business part of our meeting, our 6 o'clock part of our meeting, and we're excited. I'm going to focus. It'll only take one moment. So we came out of closed session, and we made no decisions, but did have discussion about labor negotiations and discipline. And we will now go into our Pledge of Allegiance. And I've asked Mr. Schmidt if he would mind leading us.
Stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, sir. We will now have an executive summary of our workshop, which was exceptionally joyful. And Mrs. Reed.
Thank you so much, President Davidson. We were really fortunate earlier this evening to be joined by McGaw Elementary School, the C by the school, and really kicked off our night with a patriotic psalm by the Sea Lion Chorus. Mrs. Wood was joined by 2 student speakers who really highlighted their experience as Sea Lion, and Mrs. Wood gave us a great presentation, really sharing with us this year her school's emphasis on ruler implementation, as well as data collaboration and analysis. And then we were graced with learning so much about Mrs. Jeanette Andrus, who many people might not know all of the wonderful things that she does. And she is the hero of the heart this year at McGaw Elementary School. And then Dr. Weiss Wright joined us at the podium as we honored Carrie Pallone, one of our classified employees of the year.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Reed. It was exceptionally joyful. So thank you. And for the public who may not know, during the school year, a lot of our meetings will begin at 4 or 4:30, where we'll do a school report. Each one of our schools comes and presents to the board all the amazing things that are happening on their campus. So we will now move into our reports, recognitions, and introductions. And I believe we're going to start with our amazing student speakers. So Miss Schmidt, Bren, thank you.
Good evening, Madam President, Superintendent Pulver, Executive Cabinet, members of the Los Alamitos community. My name is Bren Schmidt, and I am honored to serve as your student representative to the Board of Education from Los Alamitos High School. Here's my report. Activities. La Salle's Next Top Griffin competition was a standout student life event that highlighted the creativity, confidence, and school spirit of Los Alamitos High School. The school-wide showcase provided students with a platform to express themselves through talent, personality, and presentation, while celebrating what it truly means to be a Griffin. There were 10 seniors who participated, but only one could bring home the crown. We spent hours both in and out of school to prepare for the competition. Participants demonstrated not only courage in stepping outside their comfort zones, but also a strong sense of pride in representing our campus. The enthusiasm from the audience and support shown by peers created an atmosphere that was both uplifting and unifying. We had 5 ASB students from other Orange County high schools come in and judge the competition. The categories of the competition included an opening dance, music videos, promo videos, and personal talents. Scores were added up, and we were all so happy for Aaron Myers to take home the title of Next Top Griffin. Academics. Mr. Weatherman had the opportunity to take his fire tech class to visit the Fullerton Airport, where they toured both the Mercy Air Medical Helicopter Station and the Fire Station Helicopter Unit. At Mercy Air, they learned about the daily life of the flight crew, including where they sleep and spend their downtime while on duty. Students also had the chance to speak directly with the flight pilot and flight medic, who explained the rules and walked them through the equipment used during medical missions. They were able to view the helicopter up close, and students were invited to step inside and take photos. The helicopter they saw was a newer model and incorporated advanced technology, including iPads in place of many traditional controls. They then visited the fire station side, where personnel shared their experiences and responsibilities before introducing us to their helicopters, known as Firehawks. These helicopters are significantly larger than the Mercy aircraft and are used in firefighting efforts, including during the Palisades fires, I believe. The Firehawks can carry up to 1,000 gallons of water and are also equipped with essential medical supplies such as medications and emergency equipment. They were given the opportunity to sit inside the helicopter, making the experience both educational and memorable. Athletics. The Los Alamitos High School varsity boys soccer team has continued to show steady progress and consistency throughout the season. The team recently completed a perfect week of play, beginning with a 4-0 win over Pacifica, followed by a hard-fought 2-1 victory over Corona Del Mar. On Friday night, the team celebrated senior night with an amazing 6-0 win, controlling the match from the opening kickoff and recognizing the contributions of its senior players. Under the leadership of head coach Donovan Martinez, the team has emphasized discipline, accountability, and improvement, which has been reflected in their recent performances. The Griffins are currently competing in league play, and you can catch them at home on January 21st at 6 p.m. as they face Edison High School. Arts. The Los Alamitos High School String and Chamber Orchestra's annual performance of The Nutcracker was a remarkable showcase of student dedication, artistry, and collaboration. Through weeks of preparation and performance, students brought this classic work to life with precision and passion, demonstrating both technical skill and a deep commitment to excellence. In the show, they also had performances from dance and drama, which added to the already beautiful experience. The concert highlighted the strength of our music programs and the power impact of the arts on student growth and school culture. The Nutcracker served not only as an impressive artistic achievement, but also as a meaningful reminder of how the performing arts unite students, families, and the broader community. Student life. I'm excited to share that the Los Alamitos High School hosted its first ever Be Unified with Special Olympics bocce ball tournament. Mrs. Weber, along with the Special Education Department, organized an event that celebrated inclusion, teamwork, and school-wide community. Students from the Life Skills program and the Best Buddies Club participated in the tournament, demonstrating enthusiasm, sportsmanship, and perseverance, while peers, staff, and volunteers provided encouragement and support throughout the event. The tournament highlighted the collaboration and dedication among students and staff in creating a welcoming and positive experience for all participants. We look forward to hosting additional unified games and inclusive programs later this school year as we continue to expand opportunities for connection and participation. Student Spotlight. To close out my report, I would like to highlight an exceptional Griffin, Dane Hoffman. Dane began his journey in this district as a Hopkinson Husky, then became a McAuliffe Eagle, and is now a proud senior at Los Alamitos High School. He is highly involved on campus and maintains a rigorous academic and extracurricular schedule, including AP Computer Science, AP Calculus AB, ROP EMT, and serving as an assistant studio manager for the school's film program. He is also a member of the track and field team, competing in shot put and discus. While still exploring college options, Dane plans to pursue studies in medicine and computer science with aspirations to attend Harvard or Johns Hopkins University, while participating in ROTC. His favorite part about being a Griffin is the school's emphasis on strength, success, and compassion, as well as its commitment to inclusion and embracing individuality. Outside of school, Dane is a member of the Long Beach Search and Rescue Fire Station 17, a baseball coach at Hartwell Cal Ripken in Long Beach, and is exploring future involvement in Civil Air Patrol. His interests also include scuba diving, learning guitar, filmmaking, bodybuilding and powerlifting, spending time with friends and family, and working toward his private pilot's license. Dane's kindness, leadership, and dedication make him an outstanding role model, and I am proud to feature him in this month's Student Spotlight. With that, I would like to open the floor to any questions or comments from the board. Thank you all for joining me in today's Student Board Report.
Thank you, Bren. Does the board have any questions for Bren? Amazing job. Thank you. Thank you for bringing the life of the high school to us. We really do appreciate it. And I also do appreciate when you do the spotlight, how you do talk about the students' journey even before they got to the high school. So you do a great job, Bren. Thank you so much. And I hope you had a great holiday season.
I did. Thank you.
No problem. We will now move on to Dr. Pulver's superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam President. And you know, Brent, I learn something new every day. I think I did not. I've always wondered how the next top Griffin was voted on, and you guys use outside ASB students from another campus to make sure there's no bias in that, which I just think is brilliant, because so it's not a popularity contest. It's people who don't know them, and it really is just off of their talent. So I did not know that. That's pretty cool. So tonight I have a few things I'd like to kind of just highlight and update our community of things going on. One, just some upcoming events, but I would be remiss to say if I didn't acknowledge on Monday night, we partnered Ed Services, Human Resources, Student Services, and myself. We were really excited to welcome our middle school family, or our fifth grade families who are coming up into middle school. We had a middle school information night at the Performing Arts Center from 6 to 7:30, and it was just packed. We had Mrs. Reed was able to give a presentation of really what developmentally changes when you are going into middle school, and all the developmental changes that are going on. In addition, with the programs that we offer, the math pathways, the honors pathway, the college prep pathways, et cetera. And so there was just a great opportunity for our families to learn a little bit more about our middle school programs and hear more from all of us. And coming up on Thursday of this week, for those who are interested in learning more about transitional kindergarten, if you have a 4-year-old who will turn 4 on or before September 1st of 2026, they can enroll in Universal Transitional Kindergarten. So we do have an information night for parents this Thursday, January 15th at the High School Performing Arts Center from 5 to 6. We'll do some enrollment for both transitional kindergarten and kindergarten for families maybe in district or out of the district who want to learn about how to enroll. And then we'll do our kinder presentation because kinder and UTK are very different programs. And so this year we're really differentiating that. And so the kinder program will be at 7 p.m. that same evening as well this Thursday. So for families who are interested, and we've been communicating out, we wanted to make sure we shared that. I'm also really excited about something that our high school principal, Ms. Christiana Kraus, who's really been collaborating and partnering with our 2 middle school principals, Mr. Cordemarch and Mr. Castillo, on something new this year. And this is really the brain idea of the high school about creating a Griffin STEAM experience. And so on Saturday, January 24th, the high school all of their elective and their STEM and their robotic teachers and dance and computer science and choir, ceramics, band, engineering. I'm sure I'll miss some of them, drama. They're all coming on a Saturday and performing these workshops available to our 7th and 8th grade students. And so it's completely free. We do ask families to register. But just so that we can plan for it, we will provide lunch. So we've been partnering with food services. And so food services will be providing lunch for that. And Leif, shout out to Leif, who's also sponsored by providing supplies. So they've sponsored by $1,800, $1,850, I think, to help us with some of the supplies to pull this off for our family. So if you are a 7th or an 8th grader, we really encourage you to attend on Saturday. And I think we might even find a way that if you attend the 4 hours, you might have a way to make up an absence for funding as well, which is why we're serving lunch. But they'll have 3 unique tracks. They're going to rotate through 3 different high impact STEAM workshops led by staff, and they'll get to pick which 3 they want to sign up for. They're going to learn a little bit about the Griffin Advantage to get a front row seat of the advanced programs and the creative pathways available to Griffins. And then it'll be an all-access path because the event's completely free, and we're just fueling their innovation along with lunch. So we encourage you, if you're interested in attending. Again, this is the first time we're offering that, so I'm really excited about that. And then we're going to piggyback upon that, as you'll see down below, kind of highlighted in yellow, but really I'll highlight it on the next slide, is our all-district art show. And so through Prop 28, as you know, we have art programs throughout both our elementary, middle, and our high school. And so we're going to have a gallery reception kind of as the culmination of the STEAM experience at the high school, same day, January 24th, from 12 to 2. So really just be a full day at Los Alamitos High School. It's free for all ages. It's interactive art stations. You'll be able to see the students' artwork. Each school will be able to have their kids' work up on display. We'll have light refreshments. And then you'll also be able to tour the high school art studio. So all of our school, students' work, well, not all student work, but we will have a representation of student art from all of our schools on display there. So we encourage our families to attend, just another way for you to come and get connected and to showcase the amazing talents of our students. And you know, we're about the 4 A's. Arts are one of the A's that we talk about. And so we're looking forward. So thank you to Ed Services and to our arts staff at all levels to providing this. So as you know, we have an all-district choral, we have an all-district band event, and this is our all-district art event, which is kind of really cool. And so we're excited to be able to launch that, and we'll be advertising that as well. And then I wanted to share an update to families that I will be sending an email out to all of our families tomorrow to give them more detailed information, but I wanted to highlight it this evening as well at our board meeting. I did share with it, I believe at our November PTA meeting, PTA council, that we were really looking at perhaps making some changes to summer school programs at the elementary and middle school level starting this summer. And so I'm here to kind of really confirm that we will be making those changes. We will no longer be offering a summer school, our traditional summer school program at the elementary and middle school. And in large part, it's because the last several years, we've continued to recognize and recommend families and students to be enrolled in summer school, and they just aren't attending. And so we've got to find other ways to find supports for those students. And so we've decided to reinvest those dollars in providing more intervention and supports during the school year, maybe before or after school, maybe some more intervention teachers. You heard at our December meeting, Mrs. Reed, our deputy superintendent, talk about the 6th grade academy that we're just launching in a couple weeks. I think it's in a week from now, give or take, at Oak and McAuliffe. The funding from summer school dollars will be reinvested in things like that. And so we're excited to be able to provide other opportunities, but not going to be able to provide our summer school. And a large part is because within the last 3 years, give or take, the state also implemented a program called Expanded Learning Opportunities Program, ELOP. And so that has competed where we provide a 9-hour day for families that qualify at the elementary level for enrichment and academic supports. Not only during the summer, but actually throughout the year. And so our ELOP program is throughout the year. And then we do a 6-week program, 5 to 6 week program in the summer as well. So what we will be doing is we will continue to have our high school credit recovery. Sometimes it's just known as high school summer school, depending upon which words people use. So we'll still have that at grades 9 through 12. We'll continue to offer extended school year for families and students that qualify. Those are typically students who their individualized education plan specifically calls for the additional supports throughout extended school year. And so that is from preschool all the way up to adult transition. We'll continue to offer that. We'll continue to offer our Expanded Learning Opportunities Program for our elementary students. And then, of course, what's been bursting at the seams, as we've seen our summer school enrollment go down, even though we've been offering it more to families, but they just aren't taking advantage of it. We've actually seen Camp Fun in the Sun, which is our extended daycare, kind of burst at the seam. So if you're a parent who wants to be able to have your child in Camp Fun in the Sun, I would encourage you register early because the spots fill up. And then the other wonderful thing is we have this beautiful partnership that LAIF has done, which is the Summer Enrichment Institute. And it's that has also, last summer, LAIF had the most classes and the most number of students enrolled ever. So it's kind of interesting. While we're seeing a decline of families opportunity for summer school, and it's because with LAIF, you can choose to do a 2-hour class, maybe for only 2 weeks, as opposed to a 4-week commitment, 4 or 5 hours a day, et cetera. And so I think our families are very busy over the summer. And so we're trying to be innovative and try to respond to the needs that we have. And so we're not looking at it as a budget savings, but really how to reinvest those dollars more intentionally to provide the academic intervention support during the school year. And so I did share that message out with all of our staff today because some of our staff do look forward to an opportunity to work additional hours in the summer. So we wanted to give them opportunity. LAIF always extends an opportunity for our employees to be hired for LAIF classes. In fact, typically the LAIF classes that are taught by our own teachers are the ones that fill up the most. And then we also talked with Leif early on about should a family need scholarships to attend the summer enrichment, particularly if summer school isn't available to them now. And Leif has committed, they've always provided scholarships, and they are more than willing to provide more scholarships to make sure that if families want to be able to attend the Summer Enrichment Institute, but if the economic means is a barrier, that they will have other ways to make sure that they have access to our enrichment program. So really proud to be able to partner with Leif and for their ongoing ways to kind of provide these opportunities for all families. And with that, that concludes my report for this evening.
A lot of things are happening in the district. Thank you very much, Dr. Pulver. Really appreciate that explanation of those things. And I'm sure our community does as well. So we're going to go into our board member communication at this time, and I will start with Mr. Farham, our VP.
Thank you. I have a bunch of shout outs. The first to the food service director and her staff for seeking a grant to bring a farmer's market for kids to taste organic veggies and fruits. The Rossmore Knights will taste with a goal of 80% of them trying something new that's organic, a fruit or a veggie. And then speaking of food services, a shout out to Oak Cafeteria Manager Vince Ko, who takes the time to talk to the kids when a new item is served, like the recent lunch item Woodles. Well, Woodles is more commonly known as chicken ramen. And then a shout out to Ryan Weiss-Wright, Evelyn Garcia, and Nicole for organizing our enrollment marketing plan for this school year. They've got all kinds of great ideas to keep our enrollment up. And to Nicole for all the work she does in creating those videos for TK. Did you do one for middle school? No? Yeah, maybe, okay. So I know that's fun for parents, I don't know that's fun, but to have a visual when they learn all about these great programs. And then I want to take a minute as a member of the board of the Youth Center of Los Alamitos for their close support of all that we are about. STEM, college essay writing support for kids, specific academic tutoring, classes on public speaking skills, anatomy, and STEM, and they're all taught by Los Al students to the kids in our community. They even had a class on 3D printers and what 3D printers can do. Andrew already spoke about the Griffin STEM Saturday and the district art fair. And then I thought it was great. All teachers I know talk about New Year's resolutions. And what caught my eye was the McAuliffe Eagles and staff created a resolution display where they shared one word, the kids and the staff, that they had chosen as their resolution. But to see some of the words like kindness, commitment, resilience, and maturity coming out of middle school kids, pretty good. And then I shout out to the Los Al staff for adding two Senior of the Month and Week, Athlete of the Month, and we have a new Artist of the Week. And so far we have celebrated student Aaron for choir, Morgan for ceramics, Sophia for digital art, and this week Audrey Romo for film. And we've all seen Aaron perform, and how great to see Sophia's 3D art. I watched her take what was in her brain, put it on an iPad, and use this pen thing that they now have for iPads to create her work. And then I got to see the incredible cookie jar that Morgan made out of a clump of clay. It was unbelievable. And Audrey's work, I'm sure we've all seen on film through the film class at our Los Al. But I wanted to say something on a personal note that I think reflects all of what we believe in and what our staff believes in, is student buy-in to the importance of showing growth on their benchmarks. Yesterday, on my usual Uber pop-up pickup at Oak, my two grandsons, Shane and Liam, got in the car, each having an envelope with their December benchmark results. And rather than immediately get on their phone, they were very excited to share their results with me First, I made sure it was Shane and Liam because I thought, what's going on here? Then they proceeded to tell me how they have improved since benchmark number 1, as well as their results compared to others. It was great to hear that their pride and their confidence as they shared. This was a very proud Papa moment, and thank you to the hard work of our Oak staff, and I know all the teachers throughout the district. And then lastly, I try to end with the kids that really make a difference. In December, as Bryn shared, the Best Buddy Club assisted with the bocce ball. Well, we also had an event just recently where senior Tamlin Yoshida organized the girls and boys basketball players she called it for Building Bridges Through Basketball event, and making sure that all the life skills kids had a chance to participate in basketball. And that's my report.
Well done. I learned so much from you. Thank you very much. Mr. Bragman.
Before I get into my report, I giggled almost, I think, hopefully not out loud. I had the exact same experience with my daughter yesterday, who, as we're picking up at McAuliffe, every student's walking down the street with their envelope in hand, and she gets in the car and starts telling me about her RIT score and how she grew and how she set a new goal in Mr. Michelson's class. It was very sweet and very cute and really moving as an educator and as a board member and as someone part of this community. So thank you so much for sharing it. The training is working and our kids are buying into it, which is really cool. Like, to see them doing that and to have that. She could explain those scores better than a lot of people, so I appreciate that. I'm going to shift to something before I go into my board member report, just because I think we talk a lot about LoSal being a family, and we lost a young graduate from our LoSal family over the winter break. And so if people weren't aware, a young student who was attending Santa Clara, Marcus Casanova, passed away while hiking Mount Baldy. And he's a student who was a leader in our outdoor club. He was someone who, when you talk, I've seen so many students talk about the experience of getting to know this young man. He led sailing classes for students that didn't have the opportunity to get outside. So I thought we'd just take a moment of silence just in honor, recognition of him. And also just to lead with his family has started a GoFundMe account to provide those types of experiences for other students and other kids. So if you're interested in that, you can find on Instagram, on GoFundMe. I'm sure there's plenty of links to it. Also, the family's been really good about sharing in the news about safety and how to be smart about when you go outdoors and do the adventures. It's not saying you shouldn't do adventures, but be smart when you're doing them. Be safe, be prepared. So if we can take just a moment of silence, I think that would just be. Thank you. So let's keep Marcus's family and everyone who he has touched in your hearts, because I know that this is a community that's grieving still. And I think, I don't want to say this, I think there's a celebration of life happening next Monday. So Saturday. Okay, so we can, again, we can make sure we can share out that information if you're curious, or reach out to me and I can get it to you. Shifting, I know I apologize for shifting back to the business. I mentioned this during our earlier workshop, but 2 days before break, got to visit McGaw Elementary School along with just recently, former President Marlis Davidson and our Superintendent Pulver to visit McGaw. It was really a wonderful experience to be on that campus, again, as a former parent there, but really just to see the type of learning that was going on. I didn't get to spend as much time as I usually do on a campus, but spent a lot of time in the lower grades. And to see TK in kindergarten and to see the way that those students are being developed and cultivating their learning, their passion for learning, their ways of interacting with each other and with their teachers, the way they're, again, I said this earlier, how to hold a pencil, how to write, how to use their iPads and create letters and manipulate different tools. And it was actually really cool to see as parents are going to be attending that TKK sessions on Thursday, really was the difference of going into a TK class and the kindergarten class. They are very, very different. And so I think to have an understanding of why they're different and the types of learning that we're providing to those young students is really powerful. So I would encourage anyone that's looking at your student being that age to attend those sessions. And if you need more information, reach out. We can provide information on that. But huge shout out to McGaw for continuing to really push right up until break, which I know is hard. And it truly wasn't a show for us. It was happening. I mean, you could see the students super engaged and it was really fun to see. So I love getting to be on that campus again. And then separately, I know every board member has been invited to do this, but I also appreciated a week or so before break having the opportunity to meet with the Los Alamitos Education Association's Rep Council. The teachers union in this district has invited each board member to come and speak, and they've asked us questions and want us to share and engage. And I really appreciated the open dialogue to have with our LAEA leaders. And these are representatives of each campus. And so to sit in a room and be able to have an open dialogue, we were provided with some questions, but really it turned into just a conversation. And I think it really shows the type of partnership that we have as a district with our teachers, really being solutions oriented. This was not an interrogation. This was about how can we work to make our district better, from our teachers, from our school board, from our leaders, from our community. And so I just want to really shout out LEA for taking the time to actually invite us and for us to have that opportunity. It's something that lots of districts don't have that relationship with their teachers unions. And so for us to have that with them and to have that leadership and have open dialogue and open conversations is something as a former teacher I so appreciate, and as a board member now, to hear every stakeholder and have their voice heard, I think is important. And I came away from that meeting with great questions that I still don't have answers to, great answers to questions that I was asking. And so I just continue to hope that conversation happens. I know other board members will be having those conversations in the future, but appreciate LEA making that invite and the work they're doing to get our schools to the best place possible for our students and our community. So with that, I will hand it back off to President Hill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bragman, and thank you for that moment of silence. Mrs. Davidson.
So first off, welcome back and Happy New Year. And at our last Rotary meeting, so Dr. Pulver and I are on Rotary, we talked about the difference between grateful and being grateful and being appreciative. And grateful is something that is more internal. It's how you feel, it's how you see things, it's your perception of the world. And appreciation is the expression of that gratitude. So that was one of my 2 New Year's resolutions. The other one I already blew. So this one, I just want to say that I'm truly grateful to be on this board and work with a district, fellow board members, cabinet, and every director, administrator, individual, and staff member, and to live in a community that cares so much about our children. Time and again, I am able to witness the impact of parents and community members interacting, donating, supporting, and showing love to our students. It's what makes this community an anomaly, and for that I am truly appreciative. I too wanted to mention, we lost a teacher. She's not currently a teacher, but a woman I worked with. She passed away during break, and I just want to say thank you, Nancy Ryder. She taught for 35 years in our community. I taught with her in my first years at McAuliffe, and she was my 8th grade team member in language arts and history, and she was an incredible person. She had so much dignity and grace, but she also had the feistiest sense of humor. And she was so much fun to work with, and I learned so much from her. And after 35 years, and then she actually got 25 years of retirement, so she lived a long life. And I just want her to know that I'm so grateful for the impact she had on me and the thousands of students who were fortunate to be in her class. But tonight I wanted to focus on 2 areas. This morning, Chris and I got to go to the fire science class. He went to award one of his famous gold medals on behalf of the board. And I went as a board member, but also a member of the Board of Trustees for North Orange County ROP. Ryan Weatherman, the instructor for the fire science EMT program, fire technology, was awarded the North Orange County ROP Teacher of the Year Award. And it is so incredibly well deserved because ROP partners with us and partners with all the schools. But the thing is that North Orange County ROP covers Anaheim School District, Placentia Yorba Linda, the North Orange County Community College District, the Department of Education, and Fullerton, and I believe I'm even missing one other school district, which was Brea. And so all of those districts have many ROP programs on their campuses. And for Ryan to be selected is a real tribute to him. And he's incredibly exceptional. ROP helps us and provides funds and equipment. And so we literally have an ambulance inside the classroom that it's a fully, could be an ambulance that if you gave it wheels and backed it out, it could go save somebody. I mean, it's phenomenal piece of equipment. There are only two in Orange County at high schools, ours and La Habra. But he does so much. It's what you do with the equipment. We can train people, we can provide equipment and curriculum, but it's the heart and the mind of the instructor that truly makes it all come together. And Ryan's so good that recently, Cara Vienna, who's one of our high school assistant principals, went through a training with him where he trained administrators and staff members on emergency techniques in case something were to happen. And a few days later at a choir performance, one of the girls cut her foot during the performance, and Kara was administering first aid. And a nurse came up and said, "Can I help?" And then said, "Oh no, you're a doctor. Are you a doctor? Because you sure know what you're doing." And she said, "Well, I didn't until 3 days ago." So thank you, Ryan Weatherman. But this award he so richly deserves, and I'm just incredibly proud of the fact that it's a strong ROP program in our community that the kids absolutely love. We walked into the classroom, they were fully engaged, the room was packed, cell phones were in their pockets, nobody was distracted. They were into what he was sharing. So congratulations to Ryan, and thank you for making us so proud. I was going to share in terms of other ROP and CTE opportunities that are flourishing, growing and flourishing on our campuses, and opportunities for our community to learn about ROP and CTE. You shared about the STEM program for the 7th and 8th graders. Also on a broader scale, if you want to mark your calendar ahead to February, the 12th annual Orange County Pathways Showcase will be held at Orange County Fairgrounds on February 25th from 4 to 6 p.m. It's fabulous. It's a wonderful opportunity for students, parents, industry leaders, and we would love community leaders to get involved because you will help us build our programs. To experience the collaboration of that's driving education and workplace innovation throughout the county. You'll see student projects, examples of career pathways, and real-world learning that will help you better understand what these programs can do to build a powerful future for each and every one of our students. It's an evening you won't want to miss. And then finally, my husband and I were able to travel with the Jazz 1 and 2 bands to New Orleans this past weekend. They attended the GEN conference, which is Jazz Education Network conference. It was one of the most wonderful experiences. We travel a lot, and this will be a trip we will never forget, largely because of our kids, but also because New Orleans is a lot of fun. But they made us proud. We were there for 2 full days where different activities happen, and what Jen does is they bring professional musicians and directors from around the world. On the first night, we went to Snug Harbor Jazz Club, and the room was filled with musicians from France, from all over, who were there to hear other jazz players, but they were all there because they had come this weekend to work with our kids. And it was the most phenomenal experience to see what they do. At the first evaluation session of Jazz 1, that's our most advanced band, I can't even tell you how exciting it was to hear them, to see them, to acknowledge their energy. But there were 2 evaluators. Now, these are professionals. The first one came up afterwards and said, "I have to tell you, in 30 years of doing this, of working with high school and college jazz bands, this is one of the best I have ever seen." Then the second one came up and said, "You know this isn't normal. Do you know this isn't normal?" And then one of the leaders came in because they were talking so long and they needed us to get out for the next group to come in. My husband heard him say, "This jazz band is doing its own clinic here. They're teaching us." But what they built it around was the highest of praise for Justin Padilla and his program, calling him an extraordinary director that's known across the nation. So I think there's so much to be proud of. Then we went to Jazz 2 evaluation. Now these are the younger ones, but they were equally professional and dedicated. Jazz 1 has a little bit more confidence, and their movements are like, if you know Justin Padilla, his body is music. He moves music. He is total music, and he has imparted that joy into his musicians. And you could see that coming out in Jazz 2, the younger group. But they were so outstanding that their evaluator came up and said, "Are you sure you're only mostly 16?" So, and a lot of that comes from a community that supports the arts. And I can't tell you how meaningful it is for those kids. A group from Kansas City came in to watch our group. Justin turned around and in the midst of this evaluation and said, "Who are you? Where are you from? Let's exchange numbers, or let's exchange addresses. We'd love to come and visit you in Kansas City." And now we're going to play some Count Basie for you from Kansas City. And so there was just such an incredible amount of joy. These kids made friends that they'll have for a lifetime. They were honored by musicians who come from Paris and have played the sax like you've never heard, telling them, "You've got talent, you've got to work at it, you just go for it." There were colleges from across the United States there to meet the kids and offer scholarships. So I hope for ever and ever this community can continue to support these kinds of programs and opportunities for our children, because it makes all the difference in the world. And I encourage everybody to go to anytime you have an opportunity to go hear our band. It's like listening to professionals, and the professionals said that. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Davidson, and I'm so thrilled that you had that opportunity and bring back the report. Thank you very much. Mrs. Parasani?
Okay, thank you. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. As some of you may know, for many families with seniors, our family included, December through March are especially meaningful months as students make decisions about life after graduation. And soon that college and career wall is going to come up, and at the high school, showcasing the next steps that our seniors have chosen. So I just wanted to take a minute and really acknowledge all the hard work that our seniors have put into, making those types of really hard decisions about what they want to do after high school, and wish them all the best of luck, and hope that each of them lands at a place where they will continue to grow and thrive. For me personally, there are 3 key focus areas that I wanted to highlight tonight. First, I've been spending a lot of time looking at and analyzing college acceptance data and working with our leadership to ensure that our students are best represented. Secondly, I'm excited to see the new business entrepreneurship pathway is underway, with plans for launch in the fall of this year. And third, I'm really eager to work with the Artificial Intelligence Task Force and support our teachers and students with clear guidance and tools on how to use AI effectively, ethically, and responsibly. And lastly, kind of to take a page out of Mr. Forehand's book, I want to recognize an exceptional journalist on the Griffin Gazette. Her name is Elizabeth Martin. She wrote an article highlighting the Best Buddies Club and Special Olympics in LaSalle, and was awarded Best of Snow. And for those of you who may not be familiar with that award, it's a prestigious national recognition of student journalism, and her work will be shared as a front page story on all high school and college campuses nationwide. This is very cool. So this is a proud moment, not just for Elizabeth, not just for Griffin Gazette, but for all of us as our district, as it really embodies the values that we stand by. And then looking into the rest of this year, I look forward to continuing the support and highlight such student success stories throughout the year. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Parasani. I just want to say that we, during the holiday season, one of the traditions that we have here at the district office is that many of our classified staff are working, as many of our sites and other things are out. And so we've had this tradition for maybe 10 years. Yeah, where we bring in the TK burger truck, and it comes in, and it's just an opportunity for everybody to gather and to have their lunch. And I just appreciated having that time with a lot of our staff. And I had the pleasure of sitting next to our president of our CEA, our classified unions and Andy, and we had a great conversation, and it was just in a very relaxed atmosphere and gave everybody just that little bit of feeling that they were, it was a little bit of a downtime and just really special to say thank you to them. I also wanted to thank Nicole and Focus Studios for the amazing video that you sent out for the holiday season. It was so joyful and so well done. And I know that parents and students just love watching those things, and they love when they get to see their students' faces. And it was very joyful and exceptionally well done. So thank you very much. And I love the partnership that you have with our high school and with Focus Studios. I mean, these students are really learning real life and production. And I think they have a great role model in you as well. So I also am really grateful to Mrs. Padilla, who gave us a wonderful walkthrough at LAE. We had to stop short because they were having an earthquake drill or some drill. I don't remember what it was, but I thought that was what was it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was something like we would use where we do a lockdown of sorts.
Lockdown,
not
yes.
for a violent
So,
intruder, but for...
just nice to see that those things take precedent and they get done in our campus with our students, because it's about keeping them safe. And I just wanted to say that I think all of these things really embody one of our core values, and that's care. And care is exceptionally important to what we do as a district, because without that, we can't have the advanced learning and the other things that we strive for. So we have to care for our employees, we have to care for our students and our community, and I'm just very appreciative of that. And it's off to a fresh new year, and that's always exciting and always great opportunities for our students as they get ready for the spring semester. So with that, we will move on to public comments. Do we have any cards, Ms. D'Angelo? We do not. Then we will move on to information and presentations. And Dr. Reese-Wright. That's okay. I spoke faster than you thought I was going to, didn't I?
You did. Thank you, Madam President. Yes, tonight we have our quarterly report on Williams Uniform Complaint Procedures for the previous quarter, October 1st through December 31st, and we're pleased that there's nothing to report.
Always good to hear. Thank you so much. We'll now move on to consent items, and I believe that we have pulls of G and H. And so that I would be looking for a motion for consent items A through F and I through N.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No. Passes 5-0. I would now look for a motion for item G, which is the ratification of an agreement with Superior Tree Care for shrub and vine trimming services at Los Alamitos High School.
So moved.
Any discussion?
Yes, thank you. So I had asked for this item to be pulled, and it's really related to the item after it, item H, and it's around beautification of our campus, and that really extends itself to even the driveway path. And I wanted to give Dr. Pulver a chance to kind of talk about that. This came, and I'll let you speak to it, but for me personally, a few families had reached out to me and said, we love and we're so proud of our campus, but this drive that comes through just seems to not really represent everything that we, really value. And is there any plans to kind of help bring it up to up to standard of what LaSalle is known for. So I'll let Dr. Pulver kind of speak to that.
Thank you, Mrs. Partisani. Yes, that is something you and I talked about earlier in the year, and we said let's let the STEM building, the gymnasium construction get done, because we knew a lot of other mess could occur. So hats off to our facilities and procurement. So over winter break, that's why it's a ratification, because it was done while students were gone and staff were gone. Just under $13,000, we were able to kind of clear out all the overgrowth along as you're driving through the long driveway to get into the student parking lot, where all the homes border and all those trees and bushes come over, as well as extends all the way into the backside of that parking lot where all the homes are along that perimeter. So they cleared out all of the overgrowth there. And then in the next item, we'll talk about, they're going to do the fencing that's as you're driving up the driveway on the left side. And then we have plans to put up some windscreens that have some of our Griffin decorations with some of our newer logos as well. And then as you drive up where we did the brush, and you see some of those boulders and the plants, the problem is irrigation's not great there, and there's so many weeds that happen over time. So we're looking at we explored 3 options to replace, and we haven't made a final decision yet. But along that little long but narrow strip of either putting down mulch that becomes glued, so it's kind of like this permanent looking mulch that's probably more rubberized. Turf, which is probably where I lean a little bit more. They'll keep the boulders, and the signs that come up, or concrete. But the concrete just seems like it would be not very attractive over time. I think turf will probably be the most attractive long-term solution. So we're going to unpack that as well.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pulver. So I will have a vote on, 10G. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. And then I need a motion for approval of agreement with La Habra Fence Company.
So moved.
Any further discussion, or we got the explanation for that one?
We did. Just a shout out to our district and our facilities that, we are so open to community feedback, and we try to act on it as quickly as we can with the funding that we have available to us.
Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. We are now moving on to item 11, which is action items. And Mrs. Reed, it's your show for a while.
Perfect. I'll go ahead and start with action item 11A, approval of supplemental materials. Tonight, we're bringing forward Standards Plus High Impact Standards for Math and ELA. It's a supplemental resource to support students in practice of high priority standards in those 2 areas. We're bringing that item forward, K-8, and it has been on display with Education Services. Thank you.
You can do the 3 together.
Oh, perfect. So B will be also high impact standards, Standards Plus Pass the Task, which is a supplemental support for teachers to help walk students through how to complete and prepare for taking a performance task through the Smarter Balance. And then C will be LAHS History in the Future, bringing forward compilation 7 through 9. So we previously had items 1 through 6 come forward, and now we have items 7 through 9, How to Make Filthy Water Drinkable, which is a TED Talk, What is Biodiversity, an article from the American Museum of Natural History, as well as Living on $1 by Chris Temple, which is a documentary all to support our History of the Future class at Los Angeles High School. All of these items have been on display with Education Services since the last board meeting and are coming forward tonight for approval.
Thank you very much. So I would look for a motion to approve action items 11A, B, and C.
So moved.
Any discussion on any of the items? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. We'll now move on to action item D.
Thank you, Mrs. Hill. Action D is our annual submission of the CONAP, or the Consolidated Application for Categorical Aid Program for the 25-26 school year. This is the winter release, and this is used by the California Department of Ed to distribute funds from various state and federal programs to county offices and local school districts here in California. So annually, we submit an application to document our participation in these programs and provide assurances that the district will comply with legal requirements for each program. So this is no cost to the district and allows us to submit the winter release of the CONAP.
Thank you for that explanation. Do I have a motion? A second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you. And then we move on to action item 11E.
Thank you, President Hill. Item 11E is Learning Genie. We'd like to pilot that for our UTK classrooms, January 19th through April 24th. We're currently using this online platform within our preschool program and wanting to expand that into our TK program. It allows teachers to document and report student progress. Learning Genie ensures consistent state-aligned documentation of student progress while promoting positive strength-based communication with families. So now that we have TK using a developmental report card, this allows teachers, much like our CDC classrooms, to document samples and artifacts within the classroom to show that development on a learning continuum for those preschool TK learning foundations. And so this aligns with the expectations that the California Department of Ed has for early learning, as well as our UTK assessment practices. So we'd like to bring this forward as a pilot for this spring.
Great. Do I have a motion? So moved. A sec. Any questions or comments? I think it's really fabulous that, I think sometimes our expectations of what UTK is, children sitting on a mat and reading and doing play things. And so I'm really appreciative that our focus on education starts from that very beginning, and even that benchmarking. So thank you for that. All of those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. We're now going to move on to the acceptance of a bid and approval of agreement with Keystone Builders, and that's item 11F. Dr. Pulver.
Thank you, Madam President. Yes, this is acceptance of bid 252601, approval with Keystone Builders for the restroom renovation project at Los Alamitos High School. We've really been phasing in. All of our K-8 schools were modernized through much of our bond. And so we've been phasing in, trying to redo all of our high school. So we've done all the classrooms. We've done many of the roofs, as you know. We've done the STEM building. We did the STEM building, I should say, and the new gymnasium. And so the last phase of the bulk of that was now updating the restrooms throughout Los Alamitos High School campus. And so the restrooms, this project will include making the restrooms have similar fixtures that you see in the new STEM building and the new gymnasium building. And so we will begin construction, kind of phasing that construction project within the next few weeks, and then it'll culminate hopefully by the end of the summer of 2026. And it should touch every restroom on campus, except there's a few areas. So the STEM building, obviously, because we just built the STEM building, the new gymnasium, because we just did a ribbon cutting on the gymnasium. The Performing Arts Center has the restrooms in there because we, as you heard at our December board meeting, that's the next project we're doing at Los Alamitos High School, and we're still waiting to see is it viable to destroy that and build something new or completely renovate that. So that will be, those restrooms for the PAC will be in the PAC project. The portable restrooms, that's outside of our old gymnasium. It's not including that. We will take that to DSA for a separate. We do plan to move that now that we have restrooms right with the new gym, and move that closer over kind of near the weight room and the tennis courts. But we have to go through a different process for that. So that won't be done. And then the restrooms that are staff restrooms that are within the kitchen facility, really it's what we call it room 500, that won't be done. That will be done through the kitchen project. But what I'm also really excited to share is we're also going to be, and this is where I think the first construction will start, is building a single-use restroom in behind the classroom of our life skills classroom. And so when we moved our life skills classes over more to the center of the campus, and when we renovated those rooms, we plumbed for some of it and had some ideas that this would be a great idea, because some of those students need opportunities to have a lift in their restroom. They need supports, or sometimes you need to change your clothes. And so having a single use restroom rather than a full restroom, so it'll be built right within in the backside of their room where the aide or the students can go right into there. So we're going to be building a new restroom for our students in our life skills program as well. And that's a part of this overall project. And I'm pleased to say it's a little bit under budget from what we had, what we budgeted for this entire project. You budget for a project 2 years prior, give or take. And so the project is coming in a little bit less than what we budgeted. We had about $4 million accounted for it, and it's going to come just under that, all said and done.
Thank you for that, Dr. Pulver. Do I have a motion? So moved. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Great. Any discussion? I do want to say that I really appreciate, once again, always thinking about every student in our district and taking really good care of them and what is best and easiest for them. So thank you. Anyone else? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Ms. Hill, I think
Yes.
that might need to be a roll call. Was that one?
No, it's not a resolution.
Okay.
No, it's good.
Oh, I apologize.
But thank you
Yeah.
for trying to keep me in line.
No, that's me.
But
I'm
now,
losing it.
now you
Next one.
brought that to my attention, so I can't mess up the next one. Action item 11G, and that's the adoption of the Los Alamitos Unified School District resolution, authorized signatures. And Dr. Pulver.
Sorry, I didn't turn the mic on. This is the annual resolution that updates and confirms the designated district personnel. And as you know, at the December meeting is the organizational meeting where we have a new president and vice president, so who are authorized to sign official district documents on behalf of the governing board. And so this item brought forward each year to reflect the changes in board officer roles, including the board president.
Thank you. So do I have a motion? And a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Roll call.
Oh, roll call. There you go.
That's me.
Thank you.
Mrs. Parasani?
Aye.
Mrs. Davidson?
Aye.
Mrs. Hill?
Aye.
Mr. Forehand? Mr. Bragman?
Aye.
5-0. I'll still put my 5-0 on there. Okay, we're moving on to 11H, which is the adoption of resolution for board trustees of Los Alamitos Unified School District, authorizing election under the Public Contract Code Section 22030. Dr. Pulver?
Yes, thank you. And really shout out to Elvia Schnur and our facilities team. This is actually new for us. And so this is why it's really helpful to continue to be connected to other groups that we learned about something called CUPCA is really the abbreviation of that. And what it allows us to do is allows the district can use a more streamlined process for qualifying smaller public work projects, which helps us complete routine repairs and facility upgrades more efficiently while still maintaining competitive bid pricing, requiring contractor licensing and public transparency, because for some of these smaller projects, they kind of like in the CMAS process, they get approved more at a state level first. So you're getting competitive pricing. And so this is a resolution to allow the Board of Trustees to be able to enter into and be a part of the CUPCA, take advantage of CUPCA.
That's amazing. Thank you. Do I have a motion for 11H?
So moved.
I need a second. Okay, thank you. It is now a roll call. Thank
Mrs.
you.
Parasani?
Aye.
Mrs. Davidson? Mrs. Hill?
Aye.
Mr. Forehand? Mr. Bragman?
Aye.
5-0. Thank you. The next one is adoption of a resolution related to something similar.
Same item or similar item, yes. So the first resolution, kind of a two-part item for us to become a part of this was first, the one you just approved was really allowing the district to opt into the Uniform Public Construction Cost Accounting Act. And then the second one, which you have in front of you now, is the approval of the district's informal bidding procedures under the CUPCA program. And so these procedures allow us, again, to solicit quotes and award qualifying small public works projects through the CUPCA process. And it allows us to streamline projects getting done hopefully a little bit faster and still competitive.
Thank you. Which our district, I will say, seems to do very well. So 11I, do I have a motion?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. It's a roll call.
Mrs. Partisani? Aye. Mrs. Davidson? Aye. Mrs. Hill?
Aye.
Mr. Forehand? Aye. Mr. Bragman?
Aye.
Wonderful. Okay, we're now moving on to 11J, which is the acknowledgement of a claim dated September 3rd. Dr. Pulver?
Yes, thank you. So this is, you may be used to it when someone wishes to submit a claim as if they're wanting to potentially begin a suit with the district. This item is formally acknowledging receipt of the claim, submitted, dated, and received September 3rd of 2025. And at this point, the recommendation is to reject a claim in accordance with Government Code Section 91.1.15 and 945. It's a standard procedure action requiring the district and our legal timelines to allow the matter to proceed through the appropriate claims process.
Thank you very much. Do I have an approval for 11J? Motion? And a second? Great, move a second. This is not a roll call. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 0. Okay, we are now moving on to approval of warrants, and I need a motion, please. A second?
Second.
Great. Discussion. I did want to, and Dr. Pulver, I was not being rude. I was trying to look for the answers to our questions on the agenda. So just so the public understands, our warrants are the bills that the district pays. And so you can see, if you looked at this, it's over $2,390,000. And so we look through their type of probably 5.5. And we look at every one of those warrants. And so one of the warrants that really popped out to me was one related to seed, because it was $13,000 for seed. So I asked a question. What are we going to do with $13,000 with the seed? And so I was given an answer in the week in review, in our questions that came back. And I do believe that about 3,000 of it is going to the high school and the rest of it is going to the middle school campuses. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct from my recollection as well. So some of it was for the baseball field. See, what we're meaning is grass.
Grass, yes.
And then the Oak field was the next field that we're on cycles of rehabilitation. So the McAuliffe field was done earlier. And so it's just all this to keep the grass, to take pride in our facilities. Our facilities are also utilized, obviously the baseball field by our student athletes, but our fields by this community. That's also part of their, many ways, part of their, an extension of the Parks and Rec.
Absolutely. And I did want to highlight that because there are often questions from the public about what we do and how do we maintain them and so on and so forth, and damage. And so I just want to say that $13,000 worth of seed is going to be put into our fields. And Edwin, thank you so much to your department for keeping on top of that. And I know that there was a bit of a worry because there was a great deal of the rain that came through. But it sounds like everything was fine. So that was just something I wanted to highlight and a warrant. So that was my discussion. So I will now, unless anybody else has any comments, I will look for a motion. I already have a motion and a second. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you. Now we look for the acceptance of donations, and our very generous community. And this doesn't even represent all of the donations that come in from our community, but these are ones that come directly in to the district. And we're just very grateful for all of the support that our community gives us. And so right now, where for this last period, it was $117,000, and total year to date is $500,000. And so thank you. So I would look for a motion to accept the donations. Thank you. And a second. Moved and seconded. Any other discussion?
Thank you.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. We are now going to move on to the approval of rates for substitute positions in classified services. And Dr. Reese-Wright.
Thank you, Madam President. Yes, tonight we're bringing forward a new substitute classification to support clerical needs for confidential employees. And so the recommendation is on that sheet.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Great. All those in favor? Aye. Oh,
Aye.
no, any discussion? Was there any discussion? I'm sorry. Thanks for doing it. Yeah, thank you very much. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. We are now going to look at taking the classified personnel report, the certificated personnel report, and the administrative personnel report, all as one item. And Dr. Reese-Wright.
Thank you. Yes, the 3 personnel reports reflect the changes since our last meeting. We recommend approval as submitted.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? Great. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. Thank you very much. We are now going to move back into closed session related to labor negotiations and discipline, both employee and student. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.